favorite part of the year, training camp? How do you, all right, as a veteran player, like, how do you, right? Well, you've done this
Here it is.
8-9 times now, right? I mean, how do you view training camp as a vet player after you've done it this many times?
I view it as a blessing to still be here, to still do what I love, to still live a dream every day, honestly, and looking forward to growing.
Kenny, how do you embrace more of a, I mean, you did it last year already as a leader with this group, but I guess how do you step into that role and go into what is year 8, 9, things like?
That's a good question. Probably just being more of a voice, not even in a demonstrative way, but honestly just not even just myself having the floor or just really just anybody. We got a lot of young guys who will see a lot of experience this year, so just having their input and what they see and how we can all work together. So if we can just have that type of, I guess, voice in the room, I think we'll grow at a faster pace, pretty much.
It's a lot of young guys, but a lot of same guys back from last year. So does that kind of help you already sort of know these corners and safeties to kind of be that leader?
Yeah, I think that'll tie into the chemistry a lot, and we'll all be seeing the same thing from last year. We'll all have similarity in language, I would say, as far as football. But I'm looking forward to the guys. I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Juju didn't really get to have this experience last year. How important is it for him to get in and get that chemistry and you guys get that communication now?
I think this time right here is most important. I wouldn't say it's the favorite time of the year, but I think it's most important as far as growing, joint practices, a lot of different things that you're not really used to even in college, but just having this type of intensity, and I think just falling in love with practice will pretty much show up in the game. And so whenever you can't enjoy practice or you're not able to practice, you're putting yourself at a fault. So just doing your best to be durable, doing your best to gain the trust of your teammates, gain the trust of your coaches. I think that all starts in practice. So it's the only way it'll correlate to the game.
Kenny, you were a young corner once who made a big jump, in your ability from year 1 to 2 to 3. You have a lot of young corners now. They want them to make hopefully a similar jump. What enabled you? What do you think you go back to look at that? What do you think helped you make that jump more than anything?
More than just a chip that I had on my shoulder or still have, I would say being coachable, not really having the habits or not really falling on my own understanding of what I want to do, but more so just following and believing what the coach had for me and how can I be better put into his playbook and how can he use me in his own way. And that just, us being creative, us, wanting to win. And, yeah, that's something that I loved, as a young player, is trying to figure out how can I help the team best as possible. And whatever role that I was given or whatever role that I had at the time, I really just wanted to fulfill that role.
Kenny, you're talking about the secondary having continuity, but the whole defense returns pretty much every starter from last year. How does that 11-1 kind of chemistry help you start training camp fast?
Like I was saying before, it'll be very, very important for us to have shared language, the IQ, the vision, the standard. Everybody already know the standard, so it won't be us, taking a couple steps back to, try to reteach a new guy or free agent, whoever it is. We already know who it's going to be, and so from there, we just got to stay healthy and follow it from there.
Kind of off that, just going into the season, what do you see or expect from this secondary as a whole?
I would say limiting mistakes, whatever we were hit with last year or whatever, the storm is coming, we all know that. And so I think like the petty mistakes, I don't really like those. So like I said, if we just be intentional with practice and we be intentional with all phases of training camp and all phases of, growing throughout the season. I think that's my biggest challenge. And I think for the most part, younger guys, they want to be their best right now in training camp. Day one, tomorrow, or in joint practices, whatever it is. But, just having that grace with yourself and with your teammates to be able to be their best in November, December, that's always my quest of the season, not putting so much pressure on myself, early on. Obviously, we have a, division opponent week one. I'm not saying I don't want to be my best week one. I'm saying I want to be my best, gradually over the course of the season. And then in November, December, I'm at my best. I'm at my full form. My win is good. And pretty much I don't really have to think that late in the season. It's pretty much like my body is just taking over. I'm just here trying to dodge guys like Grove and Z. And so, that's just how I see the season.
Kenny, how much more comfort level is there getting into the second year with Shane Steichen instead of last year?
I guess you know what to expect from him, I guess, as a defensive player. I'm looking forward to it. He has the energy that you would want from your head coach or all your coaches. And so I like the way his energy just flows throughout the organization. So with that, we got to put our best foot forward each day.
Can you play next to EJ quite a bit? Like, where do you see his upside this year?
Probably just being on the field more, just trying to see how passive or aggressive he is in certain areas of the field or certain areas of the playbook, just being able to work with him. Whether I'm going to motion or any type of communication that we have, we usually play opposite of each other on the field. And so, and then more just a step beyond that, probably just being a brother. I spent a lot of time with EJ this offseason and was able to see, how he was as a person, how he was as a teammate, how much he worked and how hard he worked and how much he loves football. And I was proud of him. I am proud of him. And the steps that he's taken from being a rookie from Fort Worth to now, really embracing his role, really embracing, where he's at in his career. And I'm wishing EJ the best.
Kenny, you've seen a lot of quarterback changes here, obviously, and I know it's not your side of the ball, but is there just like a comfort in knowing?
Of course, yeah, of course. Mm-hmm.
What is that like? How different is that? None of those guys, right? But there were a lot of changes.
For sure. I mean, that just brings a certain type of peace. I think that flows within the city. I think we can all feel what we have here, and we just got to protect that best as possible for us to get to where we want and not really rush it. And really just, giving him that grace, giving him that, that push that, it's on his time, you know what I mean? So, but we all know it's a lot at stake here. So, you kind of got to like give and take a little bit, if you know what I mean? So, yeah.
How do you feel going into it with Shane Steichen in year two? Maybe how different does this start of training camp feel if you know him at this point?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we got a meeting with him, shortly, but you just know what you're dealing with. There's no surprises. I'm not a guy that likes surprises, so I'm always trying to fill out, new coaches like, should I ask him this? Should I ask him that? So he's a very cool coach, laid back, a guy I can call up anytime, if it's football or not. So I like the relationship that we have with him, not only speaking of myself, but, guys who may not think that they can call him up, they can actually call him up. So I like the relationship that he has with his team, his players, and, we all walk side by side. So I love it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Love.
Eco's on the way. So, sir,
Good morning.
done this before.
Yeah, a few times.
All right. Just asking Kenny, after you've been through this so many times, how does your perspective on training camp change for better or worse or whatever?
Yeah, just honestly cherishing every moment. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, I got less years in front of me than I have, behind me. So, I mean, I mean, I'm just cherishing every moment. I mean, I was very excited waking up this morning. Shoot, I could barely sleep last night. You know what I mean? Just anticipating, you know, obviously having everybody back in the building, and obviously, you know, we got big goals this year, you know, and what we can accomplish as a team. So.
DeForest, what would it take to take the next step to get to the playoffs? I mean, that's obviously the goal this season, I would assume. So,
Yeah.
how do you got to start moving that now?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, just you know, gaining chemistry like we've been, you know, just continuing that chemistry from OTAs. You know, we had a really good, you know, obviously, damn near everybody was there for OTAs, and everybody's for the most part healthy. So, you know, just continuing to build that chemistry with each other, you know, through camp, and you know, like I said, you know, God willing, everybody stays healthy throughout the season, and we can make a deep run for this thing.
Ahead of the season, what do you see or expect of this defensive unit?
Oh yeah, I mean, we got a strong unit. You know what I mean. Obviously, we got a lot of young guys in the back end, but you know, some of those rookies got a lot of experience playing last year and starting last year, and so, you know, hopefully, you hope that the game slows down for them, which I do see. They had some really good camps, you know, mini camp and OTAs and everything. So, you know, just got to continue to, you know, that growth throughout this training camp, and you know, obviously. You know, we got some really, you know, great players, you know, on all three levels of the defense. So, you know, we have some high expectations as a group.
This front set a record for the 51 sacks last year. Where can it go from there?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, we left a lot of sacks out there. And, you know, we got to continue as a group to have that constant pressure on the quarterback throughout the entire game. That was one of the things, was our pressure rate as a unit throughout the season. You know what I mean? It wasn't as high as, you know, you put the sacks and the pressure rate. I mean, it was great. Sacks are great and all, but, you know, we got to continue to, you know, have a, you know, an outcome on the game and threaten the quarterback a little bit more, especially in the fourth quarter, you know, in crunch time. And those are all things that we can accomplish as a group. And, you know, having Charlie, you know, the new addition to our group, you know, I think he's going to help us, you know, take our game to that next level.
What kind of advice do you have for a guy like Latu, who's in a spot? You know, you were at one point a first-round pass rush for first training camp. What do you think he can get out of this?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just, you know, I'm approaching each day, you know, willing to, you know, having the, you know, with an open mindset to, you know, getting the coaching from the coaches, and, you know, some of the, you know, the advice that some of the vets have, you know, just taking it all in and being a sponge, and that's what I did as a rookie, and you know, just attacking each and every day. You know, he's got the skill set. You know, he's got to believe in himself, and I think, you know, he's going to do really well. I mean, I'm expecting some big things out of him this year for sure.
For you personally, what are you, I guess, chasing at this point in your career?
Yeah, I guess at this point, more legacy. I guess, you know, I mean, I've made a lot of money in my career. Yeah, really just, you know, the playoff, getting the playoffs, and, you know, having a shot at getting the ring. I came so close once before. I mean, I feel like we have the guys in the room, the coaching staff. You know, I feel like we have the team to do it. You know what I mean? And we gotta go out there and execute. And yeah, that's really what I'm chasing.
How long did last year linger? I know that was a tough way to end it. How long can you allow yourself to kind of sit in that moment?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely hurt. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're a couple plays away from, you know, winning the division and going into the playoffs and making a run, and so that definitely stung. But, I mean, you can only, you know, hold on to that feeling for so long. I mean, it's definitely a scar for sure, but, you know, you just got to learn from it and remember that feeling and continue to go in, you know, to this next season, you know, with a lot of juice and just remembering that moment and how it felt and how you don't want to feel that again.
Does it help to have Houston week 1?
Oh yeah, I'm excited about that. I can't wait.
You know, Kenny and some of you guys who've been here for a long time was asking me about like the difference in having certainty at quarterback. I know it's not, you know, you play defense, but you've seen, you know,
oh no, for sure, yeah,
right?
the roller coaster shooter. Yeah, I feel you. I mean, it's my whole career damn near been a roller coaster with quarterbacks. Even when I was in San Francisco, you know what I mean. And so, going into the season, knowing we have some certainty at quarterback, you know what I mean, and knowing that, you know, there's no QB battle going on. You know, guys are wondering like who's going to be the guy or whatever it is, and it's Anthony. You know, obviously, like I said, God willing, you know, we keep everybody healthy. You know, Anthony learns to slide once in a while. We'll be good. But you know what I mean? I mean, which he will. But, I mean, just coming into camp, knowing that, you know, the quarterback position is solidified, that brings a lot of confidence to the rest of the team, myself as well. And, you know, we all know what we need to do, you know, from our, you know, different leadership roles or whatever it is, and how to get our groups going. We just got to continue to approach camp and get better each and every day. And I mean, it's going to bring a lot of confidence to everybody knowing that that position is solidified.
He does keep growing, but what do you think his ceiling is?
I mean, his ceiling's through the roof. I mean, the kid's got, he's got. I mean, the Lord blessed him with so many talents. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's gifted, physically and everything. And it's just the mental part of his game that he's going to have to continue to build and work on. And he's lucky to have a coach like Shane, who's got a great mind for the game and can help him develop to the quarterback that everybody sees him becoming.
How does having so much continuity on both sides of the ball, largely from the coaching
Yeah.
staff, how does that kind of like help you guys start training camp fast?
Oh yeah, I mean it helps us start training camp fast. Being especially the core guys, on both sides of the ball, been together, for a while now. So we know how each other thinks, plays. Guys gonna be in certain spots at certain times, throughout a play. So I mean it definitely gets the ball rolling quicker. Appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah. How many times have you been at this? Do you still get up for this? You still like training camp? Or not like is the wrong word, but I mean, do you have any excitement at all for training camp?
Why would I not?
All right.
I mean, I love it. Yeah. I mean, it's
just more than myself, man. Listen.
It's hard to once you have kids, it's hard to leave them. My favorite thing in the morning is like get them up out of bed. So that was pretty tough, and like knowing that you're gonna miss most of the days, it's pretty tough. But I mean, we had a great break. I mean, Shane took care of us, and so I think it's the perfect amount of time to like get to training. By the end of it, you're like, all right, I'm ready to get back to see the guys, get back into the season. And I mean, it's always hard, and August is hard no matter if you're playing Pee Wees or you're playing the professionals. So, but it's exciting, man. Year 9, so I'm excited for it.
Ryan, what feels different just heading into year 2 with Shane and maybe knowing what to expect from him?
I mean, yeah, I think heading into it, the same quarterback I started with last year. It's a first for me, and it's hard to imagine, but that's a first for me. So, going in with Shane, I think we saw it in the offseason of building, what we've already worked on and what we've did so well last year. And I think it's just build on that. I mean, it's just a great offseason. I thought we did a lot of great things up front in a limited time that we had. It's fundamentals and getting better at certain things. And I think just taking a deeper dive into what our offense can be. Obviously, with Anthony there, the offense changes a lot as opposed to last year when he wasn't there. So. Just building on that, and just getting closer as a team, and building on something special.
What you have in at quarterback, but you haven't seen him out here in a setting like this in a while because of the injuries. So just what's sort of the excitement, the intrigue to get him back in those settings? Yeah,
I mean, I think he's obviously shown what he can do on tape. I think last year was a big year for him, in that he faced adversity early in his career, started week 1. But also probably sat in a room and learned a lot from listening to conversations with Shane and Jim Bob and Gardner's too. I think that obviously if you asked him and we asked us, we'd like to see him play the entire year. But I think you can also take a lot from learning in those moments as well. So physically he looks amazing. I think he's taken a lot of growth also off the field as well. Just watching film and doing cut ups and stuff like that. And so. Just excited to see him come out here and compete, and I know what kind of character and what kind of leadership he's, gotten from year 1 to year 2, and so it'll be exciting to see.
Have you had any discussions about an extension, and would you, obviously I know you want to stay here, but have you had any talks about that?
Yeah, from what, from our standpoint, is the Colts have basically made it pretty clear that they don't want to do an early extension, so is what it is.
One other quarterback question. A lot of times we talk about quarterbacks in combination with the coaches they work with, right? And those guys are always, joined at the hip. Shane is different, clearly. Anthony is his own animal. What do you think that combination can be if they're allowed to grow together and, develop?
Yeah, I think it's what makes, Shane so great as a, head coach and a play caller, is being able to adjust and use a guy's athletic ability or, his pros, to make the team better, right? To make the offense better. And I think that, if you ask me, you look at the offense where we were with Gardner. I mean, no offense to Gardner, they're just two different players, right? I mean, and so I think doing a lot of different things with Anthony, utilizing his speed, his ability, his arm, obviously. And I think that the receiver room has gotten a lot better. The tight end room has gotten better. Running back room has gotten better. Our room has gotten better. So I think it's just when you put all those pieces together with him in there as well, I think it's scary how good we can be.
Ryan, this camp atmosphere here, I mean, it's not like this everywhere in the NFL where you guys are in front of the fans every day. Is that something you relish to be out here with them, maybe a little bit of interaction with them before the season begins too?
Yeah, it's all part of it. I mean, it's, we're nothing without the fans. Indianapolis has a great following. Even some of the years we weren't very good, Lucas Oil was almost always sold out, right? And I think it's a great sign for this city. And Grand Park's such a great venue to have fans here. So I'm certainly excited for it and looking forward to the year.
One clarification on the contract thing. Did you or your agent approach the team, or was it just that they come to you and have that conversation to make that part clear? Or how?
Yeah, I mean, we made it known that we wanted to stay and that we wanted to have an extension, and they didn't see it as part of their priority. So.
Thanks, Ryan.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
See you.
Sure.
Thank you. Repping the guy today.
How much different is it this time of year? Anthony is the starter. You're here. Like, how much different does it feel?
Feels very different, especially when you're healthy and you had a whole off season full of work. Feel really good.
Got some allergies or something like?
Now that's why I'm like, I came on the grass. I'm like, man, fresh cut grass.
I mean, you're getting a much fresher start this year, obviously, versus last year. How much better is that for you personally, for the team, just everybody, just the outlook for the season?
You have a lot of confidence. Like I said, it's almost like when you go to take a test. When you haven't been studying, you kind of have that seed of doubt. But when you've had a full off season of preparation, the time, the sweat equity you put in, you just can't wait to go and attack it.
How important was that, I guess, pre-camp out in California with Anthony and others, and how much did you enjoy it as well?
That was nice. Pitt put everything together, got us all out there with his crew, and we were just able to spend some time together, put some work in. That was really awesome. So that was huge on Pitt, on AR, for putting that together. We had a great time. It was a really great time before we had to report to Grand Park.
You and AR never did really match up on the field last year. So what's your excitement to get out there just in some of these practices with him?
Really just to get a feel for each other, learn how each other, one another moves, how they play, how he thinks. I think it's just going to be really fun. Like you mentioned, it was very few snaps, but we're praying for full 17 weeks full of snaps this year.
Have you been in a backfield where you're like, man, the guy next to me might be as athletic as me, if not more?
Yeah, this is the first time, so that's why it's so exciting, because it's almost like there's a whole new element now. It's like you're not just worrying about what I'm doing. It's like you better worry about this guy, because if not, he's going to kill you.
It opens things up for you as well, correct?
100%.
Even in an off season where there weren't a lot of changes on that side of the ball, does that kind of feel like maybe almost like an untapped resource for this offense, you and Anthony in the backfield?
It does, like we mentioned, especially with the limited snaps. I think this year, we got a little taste, especially getting some work during OTAs, but now just every single day hitting it during training camp, I think we'll really be able to put something nice and special together.
You get excited when you think about just what Shane can do with that, two different skill sets like that together?
Yeah, I don't think people realize, a lot of people talk about the guys we have in the locker room, which is a huge part, but Coach Steichen is a major part of that. He's kind of like a mad genius.
How have you seen Anthony's leadership grow from last year when he wasn't the starter yet to now when he's established as the guy?
I think the biggest transition has just him being kind of more at the forefront. Everybody, when they come in, as a rookie, you're trying to learn how to lead guys who've been there, who's already established, but also it's a new realm for you anyway. So I just think him being a little bit more comfortable now, he's kind of more at the forefront, and I'm sure he's going to take off.
What do you see out of the guys, Evan, Trey, Tyler, kind of competing in the room with you?
Well, I think you guys seen a little sneak peek of it last year, especially of Tyler Goodson and Trey, especially the Pittsburgh game. I think you guys saw a little sneak peek of it. I actually got some work in this offseason with Evan. I'm really excited and looking forward to Evan having a healthy year this year. I know he was really down about, just missing his rookie year. I mean, everyone wants to play their rookie year in the NFL, but he's looking strong. He's looking really good. So I'm excited to see those guys out there on the field making plays.
Thanks, JT.
No, thank you guys.
Big smile on your face today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm excited. It's back to work day, right? Like, everybody loves work, right?
So you got some good work out in California this offseason?
Yeah, so we got the guys out there for 3 days, and we got them over to my high school town, so that was really nice to get them out there.
Looks like you got a really big group this year.
Yeah, so I didn't keep count, but we had
The tight ends were there. So not everybody made my video because the guy who made it, I guess, didn't like some people or something. But we had more people that were in my video. So, yeah. Well, I mean, like it came like recommended. So I didn't know what they were gonna do, but like they did a good job. They just didn't put everybody in it.
At this point in your career, obviously you just got paid. What are you chasing at this point?
Yeah, I mean, I'm chasing respect, right? You know, the whole thing that comes with being an older guy is like it's like I'm known now, but I need to get to that next level and reach that next tier. And I think that starts with probably more touchdowns too. I mean, in my career, I haven't been a big touchdown guy, so that's something that I'm really going to focus on. And so that's my first step, and then like once we get that going, and then we'll start looking in other directions.
How about that next tier? Is that like being a number one, or do you feel like you're there and there's?
Oh no. So like I just kind of group it in like. So to me, there's 3 tiers of like that top tier. Like there's the 1,400 yard plus, there's the 1,200 yard plus, and then there's the 1,000 yard plus. So that's just in my mind, like how I group like the best guys like in the league. So yeah.
So you're kind of tier 2.
Well, I'm right below that tier 2. And the thing was, I was on my way to tier 1, and then I got hurt. So, but yeah.
When you say we talk about touchdowns, right? I mean, you have put up a lot of numbers, and that's probably the one thing that's been quote unquote lacking. How do you change that? I guess because some of that has to come in the flow of the game.
Yeah,
too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a conversation you just have to have like with your play callers and like your coach. Like, just let them know, hey, like I can finish those plays, and then being able to finish those plays and take it in like for the long runs, which is generally like what usually happens. But just being able to do it more. And just trying to get more like in that red zone game and like there's things that I could do to be better like in that sense and just give them that confidence to call those plays is really it. Yeah.
Last year Anthony was competing, with Gardner for most of camp. Now he's QB1. What do you think would make for a successful camp for Anthony this year?
I think for Anthony is just getting back into the flow of things because every time that I've seen him like this offseason, I mean, he looks great. I mean, like he's in good shape. I mean, he's throwing well. He's all healed up. So really just further learning and more experience. We have 2 joint practices coming up, like which will be good to get that fresh competition in. Preseason games and just get him ramped up and ready to play because it's been a long time since he's been able to play football.
A lot of times we talk about quarterbacks in relationship to their in combination with the coach that they work with, right? Bill Walsh and Joe Montana, whatever. But Anthony and Shane Steichen, what do you think that pairing looks like? What is the potential, do you think, of that pairing?
Absolutely. I mean, Shane really does a good job to play to his players' strengths. Him and Jim Bob, because we don't mention Jim Bob enough, but that guy probably has the most Exos hours logged of any NFL coach, staff member, like whatever. So him and Shane, they do like a really good job to play to their strengths, and he's going to kind of ease him in, I think, and kind of get his confidence going, and then like we're going to let it loose.
He also is a big guy in terms of instilling confidence. You just mentioned that word. I feel like you think that's helpful in that kind of relationship?
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like
not that Anthony.
Yeah, but what separates players to me is their confidence. Because like, what separates another 6'4" receiver who may be stronger, faster, can jump higher than me, right? Like it's confidence that like you'll make the play. So like I think confidence is probably the most important thing when it comes to playing high level football.
What kind of advice you have for a guy like A.D. Mitchell in his first training camp?
Yeah, I just say that it's going to be long and don't let the day-to-day kind of slow you down because it's going to be a slow, grueling process. Just remember that this is what he always dreamed of. He always dreamed of being like in this spot and to get used to it because he's going to be doing it for a very long time.
This time last year you mentioned you kind of had to tell Anthony to just kind of chill, open up, and be one of the guys. How have you seen that grow now?
Absolutely. He's just more comfortable. Obviously, he's been around more. He knows everybody. And he's kind of a naturally like like I don't want to say reserved, but like he's like not a guy that wants to get up in front and yell around. So that's just his like personality. He leads by example, but now he knows everybody, so he feels he can speak more confidently. I've also been kind of forcing him into those roles, like whenever we have a team breakdown, like I'm an Anthony, like get up there and give us a speech or something, right? So just being forced into those roles, because I didn't always like coming up and talking, right? But you get used to it, like when you do it more often. So.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Latu will be up here shortly.
What's the excitement level for your first training camp?
Pretty like nerve-wracking, but super excited to be here.
And you had a pretty busy off season, right? You're training in California. How'd that
Yeah,
go?
just all in LA the whole time, and then went down to Vegas for the Sack Summit for a weekend. I've just been training with, Dio's been out there, Quiddy's been out there, Sosa's been out there, Tommy's been out there, and then just getting to work with guys like, Kenny Clark, Rasheem Green, Khalil Mack, really just learning off of them and how to better myself and, really seeing what success looks like. So that whole offseason was great for me.
Was there anybody there that you hadn't met before that you really kind of latched onto, bonded with, to learn from?
At the Sack Summit?
Yeah.
When Dio was there, I really got to click with him, and I was really sticking by his side, and then got to chop it up with Von Miller. Cam Jordan's super cool, giving me tips, and then Max Crosby's always letting me know how to give me tips, and I'll be asking him stuff. So all those dudes are super helpful. They just want to see people succeed.
Can you explain what the Sack Summit is and I guess how long it was, what you have to do, and things like that?
Yeah, so it was 2 days. It was in Vegas, and pretty much they bring all pass rushers in, and they just talk amongst each other about moves that they've thrown. We were in the meeting room watching Cam Jordan, Von Miller, every pass rusher's highlights pretty much, and they would explain how they won, what they see, and then we get out on the field, and then they're pretty much explaining certain drills, how how it works, how it translates to the field and stuff like that. So it's kind of opening your mind to things that you haven't thought of before.
How much can you learn, not just from those conversations with those guys, but just watching how they operate, how they carry themselves?
Yeah.
In those things.
I mean, the way they carry themselves and talk about the game, they're fully, delved into the game. They're fully committed, and I'm learning more about myself just literally watching them and listening to them too. So I can't wait to bring that to this training camp.
Pick up some new pass rush moves you're going to try out here?
I didn't pick up new ones, but I'm working on old ones and bettering them and understanding how I can, beat that old lineman quicker, in terms of my hips, certain moves like the swipe or something like that. Maybe I don't want my hips too vertical, just little details that I can fix up and make my win rate, a lot better.
What are your expectations for training camp? I mean, it's going to be faster and more physical, obviously, than OTAs. What do you generally anticipate?
I mean, I'm just ready to get out there with the boys, the rest of the D-line and the defense, and, I'm just super excited to get out there and play. I mean, definitely nerves are, I'm a little nervous, but I'm more excited than anything.
Do you think it's a chance to solidify yourself? I mean, they didn't pick you at 15 because you can't play.
No, you're right. It is a chance to, yes, sir. It is a chance to prove myself, and, I feel like I'm going to go out there and kill it.
How do you kind of balance that? You are a first-round pick, but you're a rookie. You got to earn it. How do you balance that during training camp?
I don't let my draft status affect me at all. I mean, I'm a rookie. I'm a newcomer. I'm the little dog. So I look up to D-Buck. I look up to all those vets, and I try to take after them as much as I can. I mean, coming in with snacks, trying to make them happy and stuff like that. So that's fine by me.
What snacks?
So there's hot fries. They like hot fries. They like Pringles. They like some almonds. Coach P likes some these sweet honey almonds, and then bunch of candy, high chew. Y'all ever heard of zebra cakes? I never heard of zebra cakes, but they love that. And then honey buns too, bunch of stuff. Me and Jonah was just rolling through Target, just literally grabbing everything.
Rover give you a list?
They gave us a list the past when we came in for OTAs, so we remembered that, and then we just got a lot more just because based off what they were telling us. And then it was hard to find Spring Valley water, so I think I'm gonna have to go in the next couple of days and bring some Spring Valley water. That's Sosa's favorite.
What's the best piece of advice you've gotten from some of those guys?
Honestly, the best piece of advice is to, not think too much about all of this. Don't let it get to, don't let it get too much for you. It's still football at the end of the day, and to have fun. You know, I think that's literally the most important thing that I've heard.
Everybody's having fun these first days of camp. Obviously, when you get toward the end, it might be a little bit more of a grind. You have to dig deep. From your history in those instances, where do you go mentally when you have to dig deep and find a little extra?
Yeah, I really just, to find a little extra, you know, it does help with, you know, being medically retired at one point, and it does give me a different appreciation, love for the game, and not that I took it for granted before, but, you know, you're never ready for something like that, and I always remember that. I have it tatted on me like your last, and I put myself in that mindset where, you know, there's other people in the world that aren't in this position, and, you know, I really need to give it my all, or else, you know, it's really not fair to those people that, you know, wish they were in my position. So, I mean, I think that's what carries me on, is just really to tap into that mindset.
Did you have a chance at all throughout the offseason to be like, man, my life has changed a lot in the last 365?
So it hit me. It didn't hit me draft night. It hit me like during OTAs, and I was just walking back to the locker room. I just started like bawling. That's really when it hit me, when I seen that Colts sign on the facility, and then after that, you know, it got better in the offseason. I just killed it. You know, I just took that offseason. I treated it like I was a vet. Every day I was with Coach Eddie, learning from, you know, vets that are already training with him, like I said, Kenny Clark and all those guys. So, yeah.
How do you like Indy? How do you like Indy so far?
I love Indy. I mean, I feel like I'm an old soul. I like how slow and quiet it is out here. I just get to focus on ball, and that's all I can ask for.
So Eddie has 5 of you guys. How big was that to be able to get with your teammates literally like throughout the entire offseason?
It was amazing. I mean, because we're just building that bond even further. I mean, a lot of guys are on their own during the off season. I think it was really special that we got to be there together and learning off each other. Quiddy, Sosa always giving me tips. So, I mean, I can't thank those guys enough.
Did you ask someone, like, okay, how do I approach an off season where I'm not having to worry about my 40 time or worry about, you know, bench press, stuff like that?
Yeah, so throughout UCLA and, like, when I was, you know, medically retired, like, I kind of was treating that already. Like, I was out there doing drills. I was doing stuff that I knew translated to the field. And I think that carried on. And then literally just asking dudes like Quiddy, Sosa, what they be doing with their schedules, kind of like asking Max, you know, what kind of supplements, you know, he's on, you know, just trying to learn as much as I can to make, you know, my first off season before training camp, before the season, like, the best as possible.
Have you ever practiced in front of fans before? UCLA, Washington, wherever?
I've seen how it is out here, and I would say I've never practiced, like, in front of people like that.
I mean,
Yeah.
For you, like, being a rookie, being the first-round pick, there's going to be a lot of people who want to see you. Are you looking forward to spending a little bit of time maybe with them out here?
Sure, I would love that. Like, we dedicate time to that, like, after practice, right? Yeah, I would love that. Yeah. Yeah, I do look forward to that.
So a hair salon recently, huh?
No, I be getting bored, so I just do whatever. I'm gonna need a cut at some point. I appreciate you guys.
Last but not least.
Indeed.
I mean, do you look forward to camp? I know that's okay.
Of course. I mean,
The hip people, right?
I know y'all think I'm a bully, but no, I mean, for me, I mean, first off, you know, every year in the off season, I get tired of running and cutting on cones. I get tired of all the workouts and the workout videos and all that stuff. You know, I get ready to play some real football. Always happy to be with my team. You know, I ain't seen Speed in a month. That feels like forever. So it's good to be back with the guys. And honestly, personally, like, getting to training camp every year is always like a time for me to, like, you know, kind of like reflect, you know, obviously, you know, be in tune with myself physically, mentally, spiritually, you know, just kind of, you know, obviously build that bond with my teammates, but also, you know, work on myself and, you know, figure out, you know, the type of player I want to be this season.
What are you chasing, I guess, at this point in your career? Is that you got paid, you got records, like, what else?
Them wins, bro. We haven't won the AFC South since I've been here, man. You know, they always like to bully, you know, an organization every so often and post, oh, this team hasn't won a playoff game since, or whatever. And it's been too long. It's been too long. We got to get to the dance. We was 30 yards away from a division title last year. That's something that I haven't forgot about. And the beauty of it and the irony of it is everybody gets to start at the bottom of the mountain all over again. So I'm just looking forward to our journey.
Given the way it ended last year, you already looking forward to week 1 against Houston?
Nameless, faceless opponents. It could be Houston. It could be the Bad News Bears. Everybody's going to get the same energy. So.
How big is it? You know, it's you and EJ as your running mate the whole time. You know, that's the plan for 17
Man, it's special. I mean, first off, when you got a player like EJ, who could run, cover, and hit, that's always good to know. You know what I mean? It makes you feel like you don't have to make every play. I feel like sometimes, maybe like last year at some points I felt like I had to make every play sometimes. But so having a guy like EJ who's capable and able to make those plays is always great. And then when you got that bond with somebody, and I mean, it's not to say that me and EJ don't get on each other's nerves at all, but, we understand each other, we know each other, we know where each other's from. And, myself, Kenny, Julian, and EJ, us being in, that system, for 3 years together, understanding how we all like to play, all our strengths and weaknesses, I think it's going to allow us to play faster and more efficient.
As you guys are looking to create more takeaways and kind of be that, where can EJ kind of be a part of those efforts?
I mean, to me, it's just, just keep playing, being the type of player he is. I feel like for me and him both, we understand that, it's another level we want to take to our game, I think that's something that we're going to hold each other accountable to and continue to push each other the same way we pushed each other our entire career. So.
Talked late last year about how you wanted to add more like splash plays. How do you go about getting to that level at this point in your career? How do you add that?
Well, the crazy thing is the fundamentals. Ain't that crazy? To make more unique plays, you just got to be more efficient and just understand the game. I think something that I felt going into OTAs, I just felt like mentally, not only my understanding of defense and my relationship with Gus was on another level than it has been before, but at this point, just understanding offensive concepts, how they're attacking us, and different pressure points. And when we out there, I felt like I was seeing it differently in OTAs. I felt like I was a little bit in the matrix a little bit. So hopefully that translates to Sundays.
I don't know if you offer any advice to him, but a young guy like AR in the situation he's in, what advice would you offer him coming into this year, where it's kind of like he's not a rookie, but he's still got a lot to prove, and there's a lot on his shoulders?
I mean, at the same time, you got to run your race. I think that was the best advice I got as a rookie. When Rob Mathis came and talked to our team when I was a rookie, he said, you got to run your race. Outside noise is going to come and go. People are going to expect things from you. People are going to believe in you. People are going to doubt you. That's just very much a part of the journey. But at the end of the day, you are the author. You have the pen. So just continue to be the best version of yourself every single day. Obviously, me talking with Ant, he knows I'm going to hold him accountable. But at the same time, he knows I got his back through everything, right, wrong, or indifferent. So I just think, trusting your teammates, trusting your preparation, and he's going to be the type of player we all want him to be.
How is that bond on like a personal level with him, and why do you make that such an emphasis, you being 10 years young?
Oh, I mean, first of all, young Ant, he wore his Kappa shirt today. I don't know if y'all know that or not, but unfortunately. But at the same time, nah, man, like Ant, bro, the thing is, it's funny, I was talking to somebody, I'm just like, going into year 7 is, it's different. Like, it's different growth, like, different goals, different mentality. Like, it's not too much the young dudes on the team ain't did or tried to do that I haven't tried, failed, accomplished, and did it again. You know what I mean? So, and that's on and off the field. So, for Ant, obviously, me and him have our own relationship, and, I'm looking forward to, being able to, make a play on defense, give him the ball back, he go tud, and then we just go back and forth like that. I'm looking forward to that moment this season.
You get the same quarterback 2 years in a row.
Ain't that a blessing? Unfortunately for you guys, I know it wasn't much to write about, but as you should. I hope everybody had nice vacations. Put your phone on airplane mode with no worries. But yeah, it's a good thing when you got a quarterback the same year twice, huh? Guess we'll see.
How does that continuity, not just with quarterback, but across the whole roster, how does that help you guys start camp fast?
I would say it's a little less of a acclimation period, and I think for example, like I think just think about me and D Buck, like DeForest knows my goals. He knows where I struggle, what I'm working on to attain. I know what he's looking to prove. I know what he's going after. So it's a little, and he also knows how I respond to things, and I know how he responds to things. So, just that type of example is like, we able to hold each other accountable. We able to push each other. We able to speak about things differently, knowing the journey that we've all been on. And that goes across the board from Kenny to Pitt to JT. So, I mean, we got great players all over the place. You know, I feel like this offseason we was definitely overlooked. You know, people, you know, just considered us just a run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-pack team. Like I said, again, like we wasn't 30 yards away from a division title. So I think it's up to us to prove who we are going to be this year.